you remember the last time someone disrespected you? Maybe it was something as subtle as a sarcastic comment, or as blatant as being ignored in a conversation. How did it make you feel? Angry? Hurt? Powerless? Most of us have experienced moments like these, and if we're honest, they tend to linger. We replay them in our heads, thinking about what we could have said, what we should have done, or why it even happened in the first place. But here's the real question. What if the disrespect wasn't the problem? What if the issue was our response to it? Imagine a different scenario. Imagine someone disrespects you, but instead of feeling offended, you feel calm. Instead of reacting impulsively, you respond with strength. Instead of letting it ruin your day, you let it slide off you like water off a rock. This isn't wishful thinking, it's the essence of Stoic philosophy. The Stoics believed that while we can't control how others behave, we can control how we respond, and in that response lies our power. Today, I'm going to share with you 5 Stoic principles to help you handle people who don't respect you. These principles aren't just theoretical. They're practical tools you can start using right now. By the end of this, you'll have a new perspective on disrespect, one that empowers you rather than diminishes you. So, are you ready to reclaim your peace of mind? Let's begin. Rule 1. Master your mind, not others. Here's a thought experiment. Imagine you are at a cafe, enjoying your coffee, when someone bumps into you and spills it all over your clothes. They don't apologize. In fact, they don't even acknowledge what they've done. What's your reaction? For most of us, the instinct would be anger. You'd probably feel the urge to confront them, to demand an apology. But let's pause for a moment. Does your anger change what happened? Does it clean your clothes or rewind time? Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is the cornerstone of Stoicism, the understanding that while we can't control what happens to us, we can control how we think about it. Now let's apply this to disrespect. When someone insults you, what's your first thought? Is it, "How dare they?" Or, "Why would they say that to me?" These thoughts give their words power, but what if you reframed it? What if, instead of taking it personally, you thought, "Their behavior says more about them than it does about me"? Imagine how much freedom this mindset could give you. Instead of being a puppet to others' actions, you become the master of your own mind. Here's an exercise. The next time someone disrespects you, pause and ask yourself 3 questions. Is their behavior within my control? What does their behavior say about their character? How do I want to respond to maintain my peace? By shifting your focus from them to yourself, you reclaim your power. You're no longer reacting, you're responding with intention. Rule 2. Respond with silence. Silence is often misunderstood. People see it as weakness or submission. But in reality, silence can be one of the most powerful responses to disrespect. It's a statement that says, "I won't lower myself to your level." Let me tell you a story. There was a Stoic philosopher named Cato who lived during the Roman Republic. Cato was known for his unwavering principles and his ability to remain calm under pressure. One day, someone insulted him publicly, trying to provoke a reaction. But Cato said nothing. He didn't argue, he didn't retaliate. He simply carried on as if the insult hadn't even registered. This baffled the person who had insulted him. They expected a fight, but instead, they were met with indifference. And, in that moment, it was clear who held the real power. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Silence isn't about avoiding conflict. It's about choosing your battles. It's about showing that you're not easily shaken. Think about the last argument you had. How much of it was fueled by impulsive words? How much could have been avoided if you'd simply chosen silence? Here's a challenge for you. The next time someone disrespects you, resist the urge to respond immediately. Take a deep breath and let your silence do the talking. You'll be surprised at how powerful it can be. Rule 3. Redefine respect. What comes to mind when you think of respect? Is it about how others treat you, or is it about how you carry yourself? The Stoics believed that true respect begins within. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." In other words, if someone disrespects you, the most powerful response is to rise above their behavior. Let's say a coworker belittles your ideas in a meeting. You have two choices. You can retaliate and escalate the conflict, or you can stay composed and let your work speak for itself. Which option demonstrates more self-respect? Here's a key insight. When you tie your self-worth to others' opinions, you give them control over your happiness. But when you define respect on your own terms, you become unshakable. Take some time to reflect on this. What does respect mean to you? How can you show respect for yourself even when others don't? Are you living in a way that commands respect, regardless of others' behavior? Rule 4. Practice premeditatio, malorum. Imagine waking up in the morning and preparing yourself mentally for the challenges of the day. This isn't pessimism, it's preparation. The Stoics called it premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. Here's how it works. Before you start your day, take a few minutes to visualize the situations that might test your patience. Maybe someone will criticize your work. Maybe a stranger will cut you off in traffic. Now, instead of dreading these moments, imagine how you'll respond. Picture yourself staying calm, composed, and in control. This practice helps you build a mental buffer. When disrespect inevitably happens, it doesn't catch you off guard. You're ready for it. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, said, "The man who has anticipated the coming of troubles takes away their power when they arrive." Here is an exercise to try. At the start of each day, write down 3 possible challenges you might face. For each one, write how you want to respond. This simple practice can transform the way you handle adversity. Rule 5. See the bigger picture. When someone disrespects you, it can feel overwhelming in the moment. But what happens when you zoom out? What happens when you see that moment in the context of your entire life, or even the universe? The Stoics practiced what they called the view from above. They would imagine looking down on themselves from a great height, seeing their problems in the grand scheme of things. This perspective helps put things into context. Think about it. Will this moment of disrespect matter in a week, in a month, in a year? Most of the time, the answer is no. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." By taking a step back and seeing the bigger picture, you can avoid getting caught up in the heat of the moment. Here's a practice to try. The next time someone disrespects you, close your eyes and imagine zooming out. See yourself as a tiny speck in the vastness of the universe. Does this moment still feel as important?